Greetings and love. Thank you for tuning in to Homeschooling Exposed. So, is it legal? A question I've been asked too many times for too many years. Is homeschooling or home educating legal? People be like, are you sure it's legal? And they'll tell me some story about why they think it's not. But guess what? It is. And it's this. The law says this.
Section 7 of the Education Act states that the parent of every child of compulsory school age shall cause him to receive efficient, full-time education suitable to his age, ability and aptitude, and to any special need he may have, either by regular attendance at school or otherwise.
We now understand that the law says that as parents, it is your duty and responsibility to ensure that your child, once they reach compulsory school age, must receive a full-time education according to their age, ability, aptitude, and any special need they have by attendance at school or otherwise. And otherwise means what? Otherwise means differently or in another way. So parents shall ensure that their child receives a full-time education differently or in another way than schools. However, you as a parent chooses to do so. But in 2006, they did add a new section to this act. In section 4 of the Education and Inspections Act, they added a section called duty to identify children not receiving education. Section 436A, and it says this: as outlined above, local authorities have general duties to make arrangements to safeguard and promote welfare of children. These powers allow the authorities to insist on seeing children in order to inquire about welfare where there are grounds for concern in section 17 and 47 of the Children's Act of 1989. However, such powers do not bestow on local authorities the ability to see and question children subject to elective home education in order to establish whether they are receiving suitable education. So what this means is that in 2006 they became a little concerned and changed it up a little and added a section that said where there is a cause for concern, they are able and allowed the local authorities to question your child about their education. But where there is no cause for concern, they have no right whatsoever to question your child about how they're being educated or what they're being educated or their education at all. So that's the law in England and Wales. Yes, homeschooling is illegal. My next question is, what are my options when my child reaches compulsory school age? So I'm going to explain to you what options you have, what different types of schooling is available. Okay, so we have faith, schools, public schools or state schools. And these schools are funded by local authorities and taxation. You have free schools, which are funded by funding. You have academies funded by the Department of Education or they're self-governing and receive support from corporate sponsors. And we have private schools who are funded by tuition. Faith, public, state and private boarding schools which are funded by local authorities, taxation or free or tuition fees. So we have also flexi schooling, and flexi schooling is something a lot of people never heard of, but it's a legal option and it works for a lot of people. And it's this: it's called flexible school attendance. It's a legal option, and it's arrangement between the parent and the school where the child is registered at and attends the school only part-time, and the rest of the time the child is home educated on an authorized basis. So the parents must come to an agreement with the school as your child's registered there, and you can choose how many days they should be at school and how many days they will be educated at home. But they must agree with you and authorize it. So we also have Saturday schools, which are usually funded by the community and usually make up for what the children are not being taught in schools, or what they're not being taught enough of in schools. And also we have homeschooling, which is also a legal option, which means you as a parent or guardian have to take full-time responsibility for your child's education. I chose this option, and I love that I did, as I can decide how best to educate my children. Options that we as parents have once our children reach compulsory school age that I thought needed to be exposed. I will be answering what skills and qualifications you need if you decide to homeschool your children. And also, will I have to use the national curriculum if I choose to homeschool my children? The video has been informative and the questions were received well. Share, comment, like and subscribe, and email any questions to homeschoolingexposed@gmail.com. That's homeschooling@gmail.com. Look out for my next video. Thank you for watching. More love, more peace.